Hello everyone, Nathan, welcome back to another video. Now today we are discussing the MT-07. Now I've owned it for 6 months and my true opinions on it. Some roadworks going on here. Anyway, so I've had this bike for 6 months now and I'm going to be discussing things like reliability, what is happening here, and you know how I find all the power and everything as an A2 rider, all of that good stuff. So we're going to start straight away with reliability, because that is one of the most important things about a motorbike, is does it turn on for me every time I want it to? And yeah, it does. I did have one problem with it when I first got it, which is no fault of the bike, it just had a dodgy battery on it. So I got that sorted out pretty quick, and you know, it starts straight away all the time. It goes really fast, really easily, up and down the country is fine. The only complaint I have is, you know, my neck hurts sometimes because of all the wind, but it's not too much. But for A2 riders, you're talking about having 47 horsepower that was restricted from, I think this bike naturally has about 72 to 74. So we're working with 47 horsepower here, but I would any day choose this over an A2 compliant bike, because you get the low end torque and low end power, which is exactly what you want from a bike like this, where you have enough power to get yourself in and out of all those situations that, you know, you wouldn't have on an A2 compliant bike, where the low end torque is just not there. So this, 10 out of 10 for torque, 10 out of 10 for helping me not die. In terms of reliability, I've just talked about reliability, I was about to say top speed. So on record, this bike apparently will go about 125. Here's what they've said. I have personally, I can't say how fast I've gone on it, because that would be telling on myself. But I have done similar, no, I can't say that either. The top speed figure I don't think is accurate, because I think you could push it further than that. I think they're I think they've bogged down the top speed figure to, you know, encourage more people to get the bike, like they used to do with old cars, if you remember. But they used to actually lie about the power of cars, so it would hit certain Euro emission standard and, you know, compliancy laws, I guess, which they used to do on bikes as well, but I guess they don't anymore. But this one, amazing. But as we're talking about good things, we have to talk about bad things. Fuel economy. Fuck me, am I at a petrol station a lot. I ride casually, I don't go 120 miles an hour down the motorway, I'll ride at 70, you know, 75, I'll chill. I won't be racing about, I don't do high acceleration a lot, only a couple times a week. But I find I get between 100 and 120 miles to a tank, which that's not a lot, considering I've come from, I'm just going to wipe my lens, it's a bit wet out today. Considering I've come from bikes like the sorry, I choked a bit there. The R125, which I've shown on camera, will do about 250 miles before you start, you know, getting to the danger zone. For CBR 500, which will do similar. Oh, my bike has a sexy engine sound sometimes. So I mean, you know, in terms of funability, it's great, but fuelability, it's shite. It upsets me, but it is only an 11 litre tank, so I have never spent over 18 quid filling this up, and I get premium only. I don't know why. I guess I just want E5. I'm not a big fan of E10. It's not that I don't trust E10, I just like E5 more because it's premium and apparently better. But what I should do is a comparison, actually. That would be quite interesting to see, to be honest. We can compare E5 and E10 fuels, and I've had some on my list. Whee! Why won't my gear shifter work? There you go. So another negative is it doesn't have much technology on it, but I like it. So it's a negative for some people, it's a positive for me. I find technology to be distracting. Like when I put mirrors on, you know, I used to ride without mirrors, as I'm sure some of you guys know. I put mirrors on and I was distracted by what's behind me instead of what's in front of me, because it was something different. So like these are R125s now that have, you know, traction control, which you don't need, because what are you tractioning? Like really, you ain't got no power, have you? Another thing that I find pointless on motorbikes is Bluetooth technology built into the dash. The last thing that a motorcyclist should be looking at is who is calling you on your TFT dash. That is just not something that sits right with me, to be honest. Because you imagine all these CBT riders breaking out the new R125s and they destroy your car because they really wanted to have a look at who was ringing them. Oh, what you doing? You melt. Whee! So, technology wise, the bike is bare boned, but it does exactly what you want. It has ABS, so it's got the safety features in place for you. It just doesn't have all this fancy shit you don't need. It's got the essentials. It's, a lot of people have compared it to a toy, which I suppose I agree with. I'd agree, but it feels more like a toy than a motorbike. And you know, as a sport bike, avid sport bike rider, this is the perfect, you know, naked bike for me, because it's got a little bit of power. I'm scared. Who's going to pull into my lane? My biker sensors are tingling. Whee! Right, we got a bit of road now. So yeah, it has got power, like you saw there. Look, I can ride no-handed now, guys. I learned how to ride no-handed. But yeah, 6 months on, I find parts cheap. You know, it's all outdated halogen bulbs and all that. I've upgraded to LED since then. I'm upgrading the indicators to LED. I'm going to invert the dash. These are all optional extras you can do, but you don't have to, because everything in place is fine and working. I mean, once you get onto these 2023 MTs, I suppose it's all there for you. Everything I've talked about is useless, but this bike cost me £3,000. It didn't cost me much at all. So in terms of going up against other expensive models, like the brand new ones, like what are they, £7,500, this one is half price off the new one, yet just as good. So I'm sure you guys are starting to understand where I'm coming from. Oh, look at this. Look at this true power. It's been a minute since I've been out recording, to be honest. Do you need to indicate in a marked lane? Because the rules are fuzzy about that. Yeah, I absolutely love this bike. So 6 months on, as an avid sport bike rider, I used to call myself, I'd always be on a sport bike, never had anything but a sport bike. Do I like the MT-07? Yes I do. I just do miss that sport feeling sometimes. You didn't indicate coming off the roundabout though, did you? No, keep the throttle on, you idiot. Whee! So yeah, it has the power you want. There's a car coming right on my arse. What do you want? You okay, bro? It's got everything that you, not that you want, but what you need is what I'm trying to say. But my biggest complaint with this bike, the most painful thing in the world, who put the ignition in there? Who designed that? I cannot for the life of me get my hand in there, especially with my quad lock mount. Does not like me. Yeah, that car behind me can stay behind me. I'm not doing anything stupid today, because I've got a camera on my face. See, I learned how to steer a motorbike through sport bikes all my life, which is, you know, I've been riding for 5 years, which is like 25% of my life now that I've been riding motorbikes for. Yeah, I can, sorry, I'm trying to say that when you learn how to turn on a certain type of bike, like a sport bike, as soon as I go onto a naked, I can't turn a corner for shit, because you don't just lean your body and the bike goes with you. You actually have to turn the handlebars and do some counterbalancing, and your balance is different. So I'm still adjusting to my aggressive cornering with a naked bike. But very fun. So if you're in the market for an A2 bike and you're thinking about the MT-03 or the MT-07, I'd go for the MT-07. Have that bit of extra low end torque, and you know, I'm sure it takes you further than the MT. It's very windy. I'm sure it takes you a lot further than the MT-03 in terms of top speed, and you know how comfortable it is to be riding. It's 70 miles an hour for 3.5 hours. Yeah, so that's my true opinion on the MT-07 after owning it for 6 months, which I normally own bikes for 6 months and then sell them to get something else. So I'm debating something. I'm just not sure yet, to be honest, because I thought about buying a low power bike to see what all the fuss is down there, like the 321cc's or something, but then will you get out my arse? God, fucking hell, I looked in my mirror and he was like touching my back wheel. There you go, he's staying back now. I looked at him with my camera on. You can't push me about. But yeah, I am thinking about trying like an MT-03 or an R3 or a Ninja 400, something with a bit of low power so I can play about, because the 125s, we went through shitloads of them on the channel together. YZF-R 125, Derby GPR 125, RS 125, every generation of R12 is getting really wet, and I'm only in a hoodie. We've done every single type of bike together that, you know, was of interest, except the MT-125, which I wish I did do. So maybe one day we'll hire an MT-125 together, guys, and take it down the motorway for a bit of fun. But anyway, it's getting a bit wet and windy for me, but if you did enjoy this video, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, because we are growing like anything this month, guys. It's mental. Remember to share as well, share the video to your grandmother, and I will see you all later. Bye bye. And check out these videos as well, they're recommended for you.